Hi everyone, Chris here from IELTS Advantage with another success story. So one of our students recently got the scores that she needed, and Ruchita is going to introduce herself and share her experience and her success with you guys so that you can learn from her and be successful yourself. So Ruchita, can you introduce yourself to everyone?
Yeah, sure. Hi, this is Ruchita. Currently, I'm in India, but when I started for IELTS, I was in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I was on the F1 visa there, but unfortunately, I was not able to get the H1. Then I decided to go to Canada, but the IELTS was the big step for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I first wrote my exam on 7th of July last year, but I was not able to get the 7 band in writing, and this was the constant thing. It was happening with me after that.
Mm-hmm.
So after my fifth attempt, I'm able to get that. So actually what happened in one of the tests, I got the 7, but in listening that day, I don't know what was happening, I got 7.5.
Mm-hmm.
So again, a point 0.5 was for me to cover again.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the pretty much story right now. And I would say to all the students, like, just try to practice each and every day. And through online resources, you can get the questions, the trending questions, so you can practice those. So what happened with me in this case, like, I had got a topic on work from home, so it
Mm-hmm.
was a advantage and disadvantage question. So I had already written an opinion question on the same topic.
Mm-hmm.
So it really helped me. Like, I need not to do any ideas gathering in the exam. I had everything in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And just before the exam, I somewhere had a feeling that I will get advantage and disadvantage question, because that was the trend. It was happening from last month.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
I was following the emails
Okay.
actually I'm getting from other countries as well.
Okay, so let's talk about what you really struggled with when it came to the writing test. What did you find really difficult? So whenever you joined our course or whenever we gave you feedback, what
Mhm.
were the biggest differences between when you got 6.5 and when
First,
you got 7?
yeah, I would say it was the grammar first of all. I
Mm-hmm.
struggled with grammar, especially subject and verb agreement
Mm-hmm.
and with the articles. So
Mm-hmm.
I practiced it a lot. I referred even Cambridge book for that, and
Mm-hmm.
websites also. So
Mm-hmm.
I practiced that. Then after that, it was with the simple. I started with making simple sentences,
Mm-hmm.
then making complex and compound sentences as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it was pretty good for me. So how I used to do, I used to take a paragraph from online and then try to write a topic sentence for it, and then develop it in my own language.
Mm-hmm.
So this practice really helped me to write the complete essay.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point about being aware of what your main weaknesses are when it comes to grammar, because most people just need to work on maybe one or two problem areas. So for you, it was articles and verb subject agreement, and once you
Mhm.
master or improve those areas, that can really really help your overall score. Because for some people, 80-90% of their mistakes are just in one or two areas, and when they fix those, that
Mhm.
really does help. So apart from grammar, was there anything else?
No, this was the main thing, like structure of the sentences and the grammar. So I even started reading a lot, like especially the New Yorker articles
Mm-hmm.
that were also very helpful to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the short stories also. So
So
when
how did reading help your writing?
yeah,
'Cause
so
that's a really
when
important point. A lot of people don't realize that to become a good writer, you need to read a lot. So how did that
yeah,
that
so
help?
when you read, you should look for the sentence structure as well as the punctuations they are
Mm-hmm.
making. So sometimes by mistake we are putting a comma on some other place that is wrong, absolutely as per the English rules. So we should try to see those things,
Mm-hmm.
and even the language, the formal language and the informal language, both are extremely different. So when we are speaking, that's a pretty informal one, but the writing is now completely changed.
Mm-hmm.
So we should be active reader, not a
Exactly.
passive reader.
Exactly. And there's just, if you read one article, there's so many things you can take from that article. Like a lot of people say, I can't think of ideas. Well, you know, a newspaper article or a magazine article is full of ideas. Or people
Mhm.
say, I don't know how to explain my points or how to develop my points with explanations or examples. Look at any article, it's just full of those explanations and examples, and rich in vocabulary, rich in grammar. You know, all of the things you need are in there, but you need to go in and actually read them, and actively read them and think about those things, and it will really, really help you. So well done for that. So you
Yeah.
talked a little bit about simple sentences, compound sentences, complex sentences. Are complex sentences very complex?
No, they are not. We use it in a daily life, but we don't know that it is a complex sentence.
Hmm.
So if you will go by the rule and go by the book, definitely you will understand, okay, so this was the complex sentence and this is how it should be written.
Hmm. Is a lot of people think they see in the marking criteria or in a book that you need to use complex sentences, and they
Mhm.
think I need it means complicated or very, very long sentences. But if you look up what the difference between a simple sentence and a complex sentence is simple sentence one clause, complex
Yeah,
sentence more than one clause, and in your daily life most people are actually producing those complex sentences anyway. But the problem is when they get into the IELTS test, they try and do these really complicated things. So, you know, it's always good to reiterate that complex sentences are not complex, not too complex.
exactly.
Great. So, any other advice for students who are maybe some general advice for people who are struggling with writing?
Yeah, I would say like first you should make a list of your weak points and
Hmm.
then just make a checklist for your thing. Okay, I'm good in this, good in that, and then try to write it.
Hmm.
And one more thing, like everyone has ideas. I have heard a lot of people usually struggling with the ideas. And as you always say that the idea should not be the best one in the exam. It has to be the simple thing.
Hmm.
So even the simple idea, if you can write it in a convincing way for the
Hmm.
examiner, then you can get the marks. So
Yeah.
the convincing way means like everything should be included, like topic, sentence, explanation, and with example.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't say anything in the marking criteria about an impressive idea or an intelligent idea or a complex idea. It just talks about ideas that are relevant and specific to the question and actually answer the question. And
Mhm.
again, often, same with complex sentences. They're not that complex. Same with ideas. You don't need to use complex ideas. You just need to use ideas that are effective rather than complex. So, you know, many people struggle with the test not because it's a difficult test, but because they make it difficult. Their
Yeah.
mindset is all wrong. And the good thing about that is you can fix it really quickly by just
Mhm.
changing your mindset to, okay, I'm going to write a really clear, effective essay rather than a really complicated essay.
Exactly. And one more thing I would
Yeah.
like to say, like when we have a speaking exam and the third portion is there for the discussion questions actually.
Mm-hmm.
So I could relate those questions very well with the task two questions
Mm-hmm.
actually. Because they usually ask for your opinions and you
Mm-hmm.
discuss it. And while you discuss it, you try to give examples and some quotations. So that way, you can, even with the speaking thing, you can practice to get ideas for your task too.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's when we're doing the Zoom sessions and stuff in the VIP group. We always say that when we're doing part three is trying to think of your part three answers a little bit
Mhm.
like a task two answer, as in here's my point, here's an explanation, here's evidence, here's an example, here's why other people think it, here's why they think it, here's an example of that, here's what I think personally, and that really does help you develop your speaking part three
Yeah.
answers. So.
And a couple of times it happened with me in speaking section that examiner tried to contradict my point. But the
Okay.
thing is, I have to be on my point itself. If I'll be a little bit dicey on my point, then
Mm-hmm.
definitely I'm going to lose marks. That I have learned. Like that's my own personal experience, but
Mm-hmm.
not sure exactly.
Cool.
So as you say in writing, if you're writing an opinion question, so we should take a one side and then develop we should not be like partially agree or partially disagree.
Yeah, your position should be very, very clear, whatever that position is. So, can you tell everyone what your overall scores were? What scores you got eventually?
Yeah, sure. So in listening, I got 8.5, then reading 8.5, and then speaking and writing both 7.
Excellent, excellent. And what will you be able to do now? Will you be going to Canada?
Yeah, I'll be applying for that.
Excellent. And what job will you do in Canada?
I'm with actually Bank of America. The same thing I'll be continuing with same company. I'll be doing
Okay,
software engineering job.
software engineer. Excellent. So if I need any new software, I'll send you an email.
Yeah, sure.
All right, Ruchita, thank you very much for sharing your experience with everyone, and that's great advice. You don't need to do. I think the main theme is you don't need to do really, really complicated things. Just find out what your weaknesses are and give the examiners what they're looking for, which is, not really complicated ideas or structures or anything like that. Just learn how to write an effective essay, and that's all you need to do to improve. So well done, and good luck in Canada.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.